Hello, my name's Mark Jackson and I'm in Costa Rica. This is COVID-19 lockdown and fishing trip. So we snuck away for the weekend fishing. I took one of my colleagues from Japan with me. I know that they love tuna and eating sashimi, so we decided to go down to Capos out for the day, try and get a fresh tuna and have sashimi on board, which we did. So anyway, for this video I'm going to show you how I clean it and freeze it. So we caught some nice yellowfin tuna, and these were filleted on the boat and we kept them on ice and just brought them home. So there's a line of bones down the centre here that we're going to cut out, and also the bloodline. So I just cut one side of these bones right through. So you can see the bloodline there that I'm going to cut out. We'll take the skin off, we'll take the blood out, we'll take the bones out. So what I do, I try and make a cut in here, close to the skin as I can. Then I put a hole at the point of the knife, just enough to get my finger through, like a grip. And then I just pull the skin from the fillet like this. What I want to do is remove this dark red bloodline. So this is, I just scrape it away, just little by little, because I don't want to waste too much meat. And it also scallops into the flesh of the tuna. So I just have to go in a little bit more and back out. There you go, got it. So we get rid of that. We have a nice clean front flesh. We've cleaned the blood out of it, we've taken any bones away, the skin's off it, and now we're just going to cut it for freezing. And I like to cut it in about an inch steaks. You call it steaks, not fillets, but so about here. This fish was washed in salt water on the boat, so I'm not going to touch it, I'm not going to wash it until we defrost it and before we prepare it for cooking. So we've got this is a commercial grade vacuum sealer. What we're going to do firstly is get a plastic bag out. I use about this long because it's only for just my wife and I. Put it in here and seal the bottom. So seal in. So you can see now the bag's sealed on the bottom here. We can put in our fish and seal it up for freezing. Because there's only two of us, I like to just put in about 4 medium-sized pieces and keep them flat. Like so. So we just lock that lid down and we'll do a moist seal. So what I do then, I check to make sure that there's no moisture in this seal, because if there is, air will leak in. If there is, I always leave enough room on the bag to be able to give it just another seal only. there it is. It's got a double seal to ensure that there's no air in this packet of fish. So we'll go on to the next step. So we've got our vacuum packed tuna now. We've got a couple of pages out of the La Repubblica, the Costa Rican newspaper. So we just fold that plastic over like that. In actual fact, that plastic is thick enough, we probably don't need to do the paper, but I still like to do it. I still like to be sure. So we wrap it up like this. Bit of sticky tape. Cross there like that. And that's a nice piece of tuna ready for the freezer. So it's just going to sit on the freezer here. I like to keep all my packets separate until they're frozen so that the air can move around it, and then I can pack them up. So if you don't have one of those vacuum sealers, what you can do is do the same with a Ziploc bag. Put in the amount of fish that you're going to have for your family in one to thaw. Put a couple of small ones in here. And that's just for 2 people, that. Then what I do is I place it in a bowl of water like this. Try and go right down to the Ziploc, which is just above the water here. And once we do that, all the air should be out. We can just seal it along here. There we go. Now I know that this isn't as good as the vacuum sealing, but it certainly does the job. And that can be just wrapped in paper and frozen like that. Okay, the tuna that we cleaned today and froze, I left some of the end pieces. We're going to cut into small bite-sized pieces like this and make a tuna pokey, fresh tuna out of it. Okay, we've diced all the tuna up into bite-sized pieces. We're going to use the same as what I did last time. To clean it, to wash it, we're going to use some lemonade. We just stir it in like this for a few minutes, well not even, a few seconds. Not sure about this, why this is so good, but might be the lemonade flavour, the sugars, but it really does, it gives it a really nice sweet taste. Once it's drained, we can then start preparing the pokey. It's just one medium-sized red onion, and then a medium-sized cucumber, just cut into quarters and sliced. A couple of tablespoons of lemon juice. We need a tablespoon of this pure sesame oil. It really does make it taste nice. And a couple of tablespoons of some of this teriyaki sauce. Tablespoon of ginger grated, and I use some hot pepper, so I've pre-measured it so it doesn't get too hot. We don't want it to burn twice. And with that then we just mix it in. We'll also add some salt and pepper to taste. Just keep mixing that in. So once we've mixed it in thoroughly, what I'll do is put it back in the fridge. Okay, that's had some time in the fridge to cook in its own juices. So it's ready to... Okay, then just to finish off, I garnish with a little bit of shallots. And I have some wasabi soaked sesame seeds. I also have some sesame seeds soaked in or soy sauce flavoured, so just a mixture of that as well. Now let me just try this. Oh, sensational. So there you have it. Fresh tuna poke, COVID-19, lockdown, Costa Rica,